Yo, this is my Tekkit renewable energy power craft system, whatever. This is not a tutorial, this is just me pimping my stuff, but you should be able to get some badass ideas because I thought of them and my ideas are badass. So we have all these little farm platforms which are taking fertilizer from this logistics system and pumping it into trees, which you see growing here, and grass, and let me get some more steady. Grass and carrots and potatoes, and mushrooms, and all sorts of different trees. Because the goal here is you want to have as much diversity as possible to run these bioreactors. So let me open up one of the bioreactors. If you just have like a million seeds in here, they'll go through those seeds really fast, and it might not even fill up this tank. But the more variety you have, then it grows much, much faster. So you want to have as much variety as possible. You want to max out the variety and to maximize efficiency. There's a little cap here. There's like a burning thing. It's burning because it looks cool, but it's here because it keeps the mushrooms from getting too tall. If they're too tall, then the harvester doesn't get them just right. It'll sometimes leave the top off, and then things don't work. Things break. This dirt wall here is to keep the trees from touching. If the trees touch, you're gonna have a bad time because I think the harvesters will both try to eat the tree at the same time, and it'll lock your server up. It's real bad. It's real nasty. Everything dies, and there's like no way to fix it except to open up a world in a world editor. Yay! So here we have like 4 little reactors off by themselves. This is because I'd leave this on for weeks at a time and not play for a while and come back, and then like something went wrong and the diversity declined and everything got eaten up, and it ate up all the grass seeds, whatever, and there was no more diversity to feed the reactors, and there was no more energy being made, and so everything ground to a stop. So what these are here for, these always stay full, and they're only on for a few minutes a day, and that allows power, or this allows this biofuel to be generated for at least a few minutes a day, which should be enough seed power to get everything kick-started if everything dries up and dies. So it's just a little redundancy system that evolved over having this fail many times. This used to be all diamond filters, which sucked. Switching to logistics was great, but it necessitated the creation of an entire logistics inventory system because I can't do anything halfway. And that took a lot of work, but I'll be showing that off here in a second. So all of these guys are using fertilizers, and to use fertilizer, you have to use to use fertilizer. You have to make fertilizer, and to make fertilizer, you need sad, miserable little animal pens where they're in cramped, little sad conditions. It's basically like a PETA commercial where they try to get you to stop eating animals because the animals are so sad. That's what this place looks like and reminds me of, and so I don't think I've been in here since I built it. It's just like a sad, miserable place. And the animals look at you with these like lost, soulless eyes, and they just beg for mercy. Even though they've never felt mercy, deep down inside they know what it is, and they know that what they're experiencing is wrong and that it's your fault. So I try not to come in here very often. So we go down here and we collect all their poop with these sewers. That's what they're called, sewers. And all the sewers, and these chunks will load. All the sewers pump their poops into these tanks and into these composters. And these composters will take poop and energy and turn it into fertilizer, which you see going through all these iron transport pipes. It goes into this DSU. And right now we are using all the fertilizer that comes out, so that's good. We're not storing too much, and we're not always at 0, so we're using a good amount of fertilizer. And over here we have DSUs, or deep storage units, set up for, I'm not going to hold your hand, okay? DSU means deep storage unit, not going to hold your hand. It's for holding wheat and wood and pretty much anything else that the farm generates. I have a global repository of DSUs, but I found it better to have the DSUs on site instead of off site because it minimized the cost of moving everything around. You see the power. Let me go over here. If you noticed above, there is some sludge pipes. All the sludge gets processed. I want to show you the sludge pipes, and I'll show you where it gets processed. So every single one of these harvesters produces a good amount of sludge, and all the sludge is then transported down underground far away, because while it's on, it'll actually kill you, even if you have full armor. Doesn't care, still murder you. So we're down here now, and there's like a big tower of sludge boilers. I like this tower design. I think it looks cool. I'm not sure if it's the most efficient in the world, but you know what? Looks matter, and I think it looks cool. There's a computer here, which is really just a big switch, because there's no program to control it. You just have to know how to use the Lua console. But you can go in here and you can start getting sick and you can start dying, which is what I'm doing now. But it's producing sand and dirt and gravel and clay and mycelium and some other cool stuff. It's one of the benefits of having a bioreactor set up is you have all of these, it necessitates the creation of all of these farming platforms, which gives you a lot of blocks to play with that you're going to need for crafting a lot of other things. So let's leave the farm and let me show you where the energy is generated, which is right over here. Glowing orb. So I like to build down, so whenever you're done with a quarry, you go all the way to bedrock, then you can just fill it with, just get turtles to build you a frame like this, and use these half blocks on top, because nothing can spawn on half blocks, and nothing can spawn on these non-opaque glass blocks. So this is completely spawn proof. In the dark, you can just stand out here and you're fine. I like no torches. I like it's functional. I think it's cooler this way, because it requires a little bit more knowledge about how the game works. So I love using these half blocks designs. Down here, everything is also half blocked on the floor, and glass here, so nothing spawns. And these are where all the power generation happens. They're different sizes because I made them at different times and I had different amount of resources. So I made this one first as sort of like a proof of concept. And it's got a little touchscreen, it's got a shield. The shield is just for aesthetics. It doesn't actually do anything, but it looks really cool. And so you have all these biofuel generators here, and they're all full. There's a tesseract down here, and I pop this one out. You can see the fluid duct goes all the way to the top, and it feeds all of these with delicious biofuel. And these produce tons of power, and the power then goes to laser drills. And the laser drills are set up to be biased slightly towards diamond, and then the rest towards whatever else. So I think there's like emerald and diamond on these. This is one diamond, and this will produce basically infinite resources with just energy. So it's a way of turning excess energy into resources, and these use a lot of energy. I pretty much max them all out, and they still, like, I'm using them as fast as I can, and they just use a ton of energy. I have a little battery back up here, just in case the generators go down for whatever time. It just helps ensure that there's uninterrupted power at all times. I'm sort of like the utility company of the server. I need like 6 nines worth of uptime, and my power just can't go down. Like, people rely on this. So there's a little bit of circuitry down in there, not a whole lot. I tried to hide it all just so it looks kind of cool and futuristic, and there isn't a whole lot of stuff flying around. I like these vertical designs. I just think they look kind of like the power generators from, they look kind of like the power generators in Trigun a little bit. They're not spherical. I wanted to go with spherical, but I found it was a lot easier to get the this glowstone liquid to flow uphill into these little receptacles. And then over here is my inventory system. There's like a lot of stuff going on here, so I don't want to explain it all, but I just want to give you the quick rundown. There's a bunch of furnaces and pulverizers pulling items out from these crystal chests, and the crystal chests hold everything that doesn't have a deep storage unit already set up with an item sink in it. So this deep storage unit has an item sink with dirt. So this DSU holds dirt, and it probably holds like a bazillion dirt. Yeah, it's 2 million dirts. They hold up to 2 billion, so I'm good. And you can just see it's just repeated. There's just a whole bunch of these DSUs. Not all of them are configured right now, but I just built them all just in case. And whenever I need to add something to the system, like if I get a new resource, like I start processing, actually today I added sulfur, something else, I just come over to one of these pulverizers and I add here, I just added the saltpeter, sulfur ore, pig iron ore to this supplier pipe, and it will supply this guy with full blocks of the 3 items I just mentioned. We'll pulverize it, put those items back into the inventory, and these all have provider modules on them, so it'll provide them to wherever they're needed. There's a bunch of tesseracts set up to different item pulls. Anyone who needs, like an item sync, anyone who needs items, I'll set them up a tesseract and set them up a request unit, and they can request stuff from the network that way.